Hey everyone, welcome back. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. We're going to take a really deep dive into a topic that, well, literally sits right above our heads, but is so often overlooked until it's way too late. Today, we're talking all about hybrid solar system safety, and specifically, the absolute critical importance of solar panel grounding. We're going to trace the exact physical journey of a high-voltage electrical surge, and I'm going to show you exactly how this invisible safety net for your home is actually built.
It's a serious question. You've invested in this incredible hybrid solar system. You've got the panels, the inverter, the batteries, the whole shebang. But hovering right up there on your roof is an invisible threat. We're talking about massive electrical surges from a lightning strike or just sudden crazy equipment malfunctions. If your system isn't properly grounded, that huge surge of energy is essentially trapped, just frantically looking for a way out. And trust me, you absolutely do not want it finding a way out through your super expensive equipment or, even worse, through you.
Okay, let's dive into this. What exactly is grounding in this context? Well, think of it like a giant electrical pressure relief valve for your entire solar setup. It's this highly deliberate, carefully constructed, safe path that basically tells massive electrical surges to just completely bypass your sensitive components, stuff like your surge protective device, or SPD, and your inverter, and instead dissipate entirely harmlessly deep into the earth. It is literally your system's ultimate defense mechanism.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. The hidden danger. 2. The toolkit. 3. The roof setup. 4. The descent. 5. The earth connection. And finally 6. Maintenance and safety.
Starting off with part 1, the hidden solar danger. Right, so most solar panel frames and the mounting rails they sit on are made of aluminum, which is awesome for weather resistance. But to stop them from corroding, manufacturers give them these tough protective coatings. And here's the hidden danger. Those coatings actually act as really powerful electrical insulators. Because of this, natural electrical discharge is totally prevented from happening. So if a stray charge hits your panels, boom, it's trapped. It has nowhere to go but straight down your PV cables into your expensive gear inside, or, scary enough, into the body of whoever touches it next. We have to give that trapped energy a dedicated highway straight into the ground.
Moving right along to part 2, your essential grounding toolkit. Okay, here is your definitive arsenal, based right on the InfoGuide NG best practices. You're going to need green 8AWG grounding wire, and that specific green color is universally recognized for safety identification, while the 8-gauge gives you the thickness you really need. We're also using standard 6mm squared PV cables for the power. Crucially, you need specialized grounding plates. We'll talk about those in just a second. You'll also want liquid-tight flexible conduits with rubber gaskets for some serious weatherproofing, stainless steel self-tapping screws, because regular screws will rust out and totally ruin your electrical connection, and finally, a bus bar, metal ferrules, and a crimping tool to make sure everything stays locked in tight.
All right, next up, the 4-step installation path. So, this is the exact 4-step spatial process. We actually kick things off inside the house by prepping the distribution box. Then, we head up to the roof to ground the panels and the railings. Third, we run our cables back down safely. And fourth, we make that final earth connection. Let's jump into step 3, securing the roof setup. Actually, before running a single wire, you've got to sort out your distribution box. You want to use a nice, thick DIN rail in there to easily hold up the heavy weight of your breakers and SPDs. And most importantly, you absolutely must install a dedicated grounding bus bar. Think of this bus bar as the grand central station of your safety system. It's the big meeting point where the wire from the roof, the wire from your SPD, and the ultimate wire heading out into the dirt will all eventually connect.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how we deal with that hidden danger from earlier. Up on the roof, the absolute wrong way to ground a panel is to just haphazardly wrap a copper wire around a painted aluminum rail. Because of that insulating coating, the electricity literally won't transfer to the wire. The right way, and honestly the mandatory way, is using specialized grounding plates. These little plates have tiny, sharp, metallic protrusions on them. When you crank them down securely with your stainless steel hardware, those little teeth literally bite right through the aluminum's insulating layer. They hit the raw metal underneath, and bam, you've got true electrical continuity and zero resistance. It's such a tiny detail, but it literally saves entire systems.
Once you've bitten through that coating, you take your green 8AW wire and attach it directly to the pre-drilled grounding holes that come standard on every solar panel frame. And here is the real secret. You must connect every single panel to each other in a series sequence. You are effectively weaving this continuous, unbreakable safety net across your entire array. So whether a stray voltage hits the top left panel or the bottom right, that net catches it instantly.
Part 4. Routing cables to the box.
The descent, right? This downward journey is honestly where a lot of systems degrade over time if you aren't super careful. You've got to protect this path by routing the PV cables and your green grounding wire through PVC bends and liquid-tight flexible conduits. This rigorous weatherproofing ensures literally zero water makes it into your distribution box. Plus, up under the array, you've got to use heavy-duty cable ties to keep all those wires pinned up tightly against the underside of the panels. Never ever let wires just rest directly on the roof's surface, where they're going to sit in puddles, bake in the hot sun, and just totally fall apart.
Okay, Part 5. Making the earth connection. And this brilliantly illustrates the final act of our safety system. That green wire finally comes into the distribution box. Now, you don't just jam some frayed copper strands under a screw and call it a day. No way. You cap the end of that wire with a metal ferrule, crimp it super tight, and then terminate it cleanly right into the bus bar. Then, the most important step of the whole shebang, a final, heavy wire runs from that bus bar totally out of the house and clamps onto a heavy grounding rod that has been physically pounded deep into the soil outside. So the surge hits the roof, travels the green wire, hits the bus bar, and is immediately ejected straight into the dirt, completing the safety circuit. Boom, threat neutralized.
Finally, Part 6. Maintenance and safety warnings.
I kind of want to pause the intense electrical talk for a quick second with a brilliant, purely physical maintenance hack from the InfoGuide NG source. So, while grounding handles the electrical safety, you still have to protect the physical panels themselves. A great pro tip? Install cheap, simple drainage clips on the bottom edges of your solar frames. They act like tiny siphons, stopping water from pooling up on that bottom edge. Because when water stands still, it traps dust and mud, which totally blocks your solar cells and basically kills your energy harvest. These little drainage clips keep the panels clean and your energy output super high.
Now, before we wrap up, we've got to talk safety. The nuts and bolts of what we've covered today are incredibly vital for you to understand as a system owner. But make no mistake, solar installations, especially these hybrid systems, involve deadly, high-voltage electricity. It commands immense respect. If you aren't a trained professional, it is absolutely crucial that you consult with or just straight up hire a certified installer to do this work. Not only is it going to keep you alive, but it ensures your setup strictly meets local electrical codes and safety standards.
So that leaves us with one really important question to think about. Knowing what you know now about the hidden dangers of ungrounded aluminum, the meticulous routing of those cables, and the absolute necessity of a deep earth connection, is your system actually fully protected from the next search? Don't wait for a massive storm to find out. Take these principles, go to a visual inspection of your setup, have a chat with your installer, and just make sure that invisible safety net is tightly woven. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this illuminated the vital path from the roof down to the earth. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you on the next one.